Hey, it's James from Finney Electrical. On today's video, this is Apprentice does fuse board. Let's get into this. So in for a treat then. So we've got Herbie and we've got Oliver, who's going to do the first fuse board. So obviously we'll make it all dead, make it all safe, and then they'll crack at doing a little bit each of a fuse board and get them used to how to do a fuse board. So we'll teach them how to do it. So the customer don't want to pay out for an RCBO fuse board, so it's quite a bit more expensive. So we've got a dual RCD unit, so we're fitting this, so they're okay to fit as long as you don't exceed certain DC loads and DC leakage essentially. So as long as you don't go over the 6 milliamp, you're good. So there's nothing in this house, there's hardly any LED stuff or LED stuff that can be fitted, so we should be good on that front. So I'm currently in Wakefield then, and we're going to nip over to York and meet the lads. So let's get over there. Right, we're into the job now then. So, what we've got this big ass fuse board. I don't know why I said big ass, but we've got a big fuse board. So you're already here. So we had to get a 14 way because they didn't do a 6 and 6. So it's a 7 and 7 we've got. So I'm hoping it'll fit in this gap. If not, we're gonna have to like shift this over and yeah. So if you remember this from the last video, yeah, there's sockets that are not rings, and so we're gonna have to downrate things and investigate into that, why the end-to-end is not working. If we can't find that, we'll have to downrate that again. So that's what we're gonna do, is get these lads to have a go at doing a few circuits each or fixing it or whatever. So I've got to get to a meeting for 1:30 in Leeds, so yeah, I'm gonna get it all swapped over, get the RCD tests, get it all tested, get it in your document, and then they'll have a new EICR certificate with everything passed, which is what they want. So you're going to have a go at this then, lads. So in your fuse board then, do you want to open it up nice and quick? So that's it. Have you worked with a new fuse board before? Have you seen one in its packaging before? No. Yeah, look at this. You normally get them in college, like a little one, don't you? And all screws have been rounded off because people over tighten them.
Yeah, that's not.
So what we'll do, we'll get these two screws open and get this lid off then. Right then, so he's got his lid off then. So that's what we're gonna bang that back on at the end. This is your board then, yeah, and we're lifting it up then. So this is your SPD. So these actually pull out. And they're really hard to pull out, to be fair. We'll give it a right wiggle. There you go. So it's like a little cartridge, and you can swap these out. This is it's called an SPD, surge protection device. So you notice it's green at the moment. So if that ever goes red, it means there's been a surge, and that's dampened it and stopped your electronics getting blown up essentially. So if you had an electric car, it's going to kind of dampen any coming in. So that's that. So you're going to push that back in. So there's obviously one for line, one for neutral. So it's protecting both. Obviously your main switch there, so that isolates the full installation. So his cables will actually come into there and clamp into there. That's your main tails. And we've got RCD. And then we're going to put a bit of bus bar, which is this stuff, which is going to do some MCBs this side, and then a bus bar MCBs that side. So then, what we're going to do then, we'll have to take all the gubbins out. So we'll take all this out. And then we'll look for cable entries. It could be a rear entry, it could be, we might put some compression glands in the top and have cables come through the top, or there's side entries, so we need to look at the best bet for that. And then for your mains coming in, we'll probably up that to a 32, and we've got a special compression gland knocking about somewhere, which will have two 60mm tails and an earth going through the same gland. And obviously earth will go in your earth MET. Main earth terminal, and then you've got live and neutral there. Cool, right then, let's we'll take all the gubbins out, and we'll have a look at the fuse board, the old fuse board, and we'll show you how to tally this up then, yeah? Right then, so obviously you've seen this before, haven't you? So what we're going to do, we're going to tally up this fuse board to the positions where they're going to land in the new fuse board. So we're going to tally up the old fuse board. Let's undo this. So we're going to decide where these are going to land, these circuits are going to land in the new fuse board. So, for example, where's my Sharpie gone? Here's my Sharpie. Oh, so we're going to write as circuit details, so 1 to whatever, and then we're going to, the corresponding numbers will correspond to the number of tallies. So say we want cooker on position 1 on his new fuse board, we're just going to tally up that 1. And because it's a twinning earth cable, they're all twinning earths, because that's got a 1 on say we want circuit 6 for this one, yeah, so we're going to put 6 tallies on this, 2, 5, 6. Obviously when we pull everything out, we'll have a cable with 6 tallies on, therefore we know the earth is to go into position 6, and the neutral, this blue one's to go in position 6 for the neutral. So that's how we do it then. Obviously we're going to contact the fuse board fairies to disconnect the main power. So shoot, you're not supposed to chop this, are you? But Octopus is allowing you to actually chop it now. So you'll have to upgrade the main bullet size if it's too low and it's 16mm coming in. So I think you have to get permission to do it, but electricians are allowed to do it now. That's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, normally you're not supposed to touch any of this. Touch the meter. It's classed as meter tampering. It's illegal. So don't be doing it, Oliver. Don't be giving your dad some free electric. There we go, that's all set up then. We've got our breakers ready to go. In here then, let's have a look. And these are all tallied up, like where they're going to go. And we'll end up with a couple of spare breakers in, won't we? Nope, another call. So what we're going to do is just get this disconnected next. Look at that, fuse board fairs have come, it's all disconnected and we've done safe isolation. So I'm just going to disconnect everything. Look at this. Let's turn up the let's turn it up to max power. Yeah then, look at this little bass. That'll do ya. There we go then, so that's all off now. So then, what do we think then? Is it looking easy?
It looks complicated.
Yeah, just a bit, look at that. So we've got all these different wires. It's okay though, because we know we've got a little dash on there that's going to go into position 1 in the new fuse board. So now we're going to offer this fuse board up, consumer unit, and try and make them fit. So luckily it fits sideways, which is good. So it does fit in that gap nicely. So we're going to make sure it fits height wise as well. I don't think it does, so we'll have to chop down this a bit, I think. So I think if we chop down that trunking a bit, by that much, we'll have to offer it up, get a little pencil mark, get the multi-tool out, chop it down, and then that might, you see that entry there, the trunking, that might actually fit in that hole there. So all them cables might actually fit through that with a bit of grommet strip, luckily. If not, we'll have to get the angle grinder out and cut a big square, like a 2x2 square, and then grommet strip it up and get him on. But yeah, and then all we have to do then is get these tails into this bottom right. What else we got? We've got some cables coming through the back there and there, so we'll have to offer them up and get those drilled out and grommet stripped up. And then we've just got a few top entries there, so we'll have to basically see where the cables come in and make the appropriate holes and grommet stripped. And there we go. And then so we've offered this up. We know the cable entries, so we'd offer up the side of it for this cable entry, and then we've gone the other way. So if we drill there with a 32mm hole, sorry, a 25mm hole, we'll put a 25mm what do you call it, grommet strip on. And we'll get that cable in. So we'll have to drill that out for that cable entry. For this cable entry, this will land in this zone. So all you do is get your grommet strip, push it into the bottom. See, some people put it to the side, and I don't like that when it matches and you got like a little square. Not into that. So I go in the middle, all the way around, and push it in with your snips like that. So what you can find is, if you don't push it to the corners and hold it, it's loose. So push it to that corner, push it to that corner, and cut just slightly past it, so about there. and then we should be able to push back, and because they push against each other, the two ends, and it shouldn't go anywhere. That's perfect, that. Lovely. Right, all the entries are ready now then, so it took a while just to get the holes coming in at the right places of where the cables come in. So it's not the easiest of fuse boards, but if you look here, it's fixed. It'll fix top left, bottom left, top right, but at the bottom it's quite a bit of wiggle. So what we need to do is pack out that bottom right fixing with some penny washers. So it's probably going to take about four or five penny washers, and then it'll be level. So what you don't want to do is when you fix it, you fix this bottom side and it starts to warp, and all the breakers are not equal. The lid won't go on, or you'll have to mess about the lid just to get the screws on. So it's going to be a nightmare. So we're going to have to make sure it's perfectly fixed properly. There we go, we're on. So it's took us a good hour and a half to get to this stage. So the wall were wonky out, so we had to pat this out with one penny for that side, two of this side actually, when we were testing it, and that's now solid as a rock. These, we've chopped it back out of the trunk in here, so it actually goes into the wall, so that sits flush now. And obviously we've got the cable entries, which are going to sit, that grommet strip's going to sit within the trunking, same again for that, when we get the lid on. This, what do you call it, shower cable's going to have to come around and into there. And then, yeah, that's it. So yeah, all we're doing is going to wire it up now. So we're going to take the cable label. So look at this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, so that's the lighting. So this basically, it's all numbered if you look here. So 1 to 9 and 1 to 9. These are for your different RCDs. So obviously the main switch is on this side. So when you count your circuits, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Then stop, then your RCD 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So that's what they correspond to. So obviously these are the neutrals for that RCD, and that's the neutral bar for those RCDs. So circuit 5 then, that cable, we'll have to extend that because it's not long enough, but 5 we'll have to run along, bring it up into position 5 for that neutral, and then 5 for here. So there we go. Right then, so let's get this all wired in next. There we go, we're just halfway through then. So that's all in then, you've got your main tiles in, now ready to go into the main switch. And then we've got the earths for a few circuits wired in, and we've got the neutrals wired in. So if you ignore all this, it's starting to take shape. So obviously we've got the line, the earths and neutrals to wire for these circuits, and we've got to extend a few. So this job's taking a little bit longer just with this getting fixed on that. So what we're going to do is tag team with Brian, and Brian's going to come over and get this finished off, because I've got some networking to do then. So it's in Leeds, I'm going to get over to Leeds and let's do some networking. So it's like what I've been invited to for loads of like property and stuff like that. So we've got some high flyers from some big developments and that. So I'm going to go introduce myself to those, and yeah, should be able to get some decent work in through that. Right, so we're going to leave them here now then. So Brian's here now, so he's going to take over. We'll have to get Brian to send some pictures if he remembers, and we might take it onto the back end of it. In fact, speaking of the devil, here he is, Mr. Brian. Hello. Yeah, that was a bit of fun then. So just doing a bit of networking in Leeds. Crazy meeting. Yeah, there's some big high flyers. This guy was like, "Oh yeah, I've sold Mel B 4 houses." I was like, "Oh, flipping it," and the mum, "Oh, flipping it, he's done alright there, hasn't he?" So, but yeah, so going back to this then, so I thought Brian sent some pictures over then. So let's have a look then. So here's his little fuse board then. He's got, so Brian puts his labels there. Fair enough. I've got a little printer, and then stick them underneath. So that's how Brian does it. What else? And then that's his fuse board front then. That's a test result. But yeah, there we go. So little Finney electrical sticker on the front, and then the next test is just banged on there. So it's a nice neat job-ish. It's looking good. The only thing that's letting it down is the isolator in it, which couldn't be helped because it had to stay in. But yeah, that's looking pretty neat and sweet. So there we go. So Herbie and Oliver had a go then. putting all their circuits in the fuse board themselves then, so they enjoyed that. Yeah, we didn't film much of that. And then obviously Brian had to take over, because to fit in that board took ages, just to, like normally, if all the cables were coming down from above, you could have just literally flapped them forward, fixed it, if you're a nice flat wall, fixed it, and then just put them all through compression glands, and then your main cable, your tails coming in through the bottom. It would have been fitted, and we would have been at it in about 20 minutes. But it took about an hour and a half to eye it up, chop a bit of chunking down, get all the mark out for the entry holes across the fuse board, and make sure that it all landed nicely. But as you can see, it's looking great from that. So they've got the SPD protection, they've got the RCD protection to stop them getting electrocuted, it's got its MCBs to stop fires, so that customer is nice and safe. So yeah, that's what we've got for time for today's video then. So if you like this little video, then hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the little bell notification so you know when we've next got a video upload. That's always handy if you like these videos. So as always, have a good one from me, and I'll see you on the next one.